I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. I am pretty familiar with Sneako, probably more so than a lot of his more modern fan base is. I first became aware of his content when he got mad at me a couple years ago because I was criticizing a movie called Cuties. For those that don't know, Cuties was a movie that went to Netflix and it was basically just softcore child porn. It was a movie that focused on twerking and a coming of age film that used real children in real positions of like sexualization, where during like a twerking contest they'd have cameras that would go like right into their ass and zoom in. It was fucking disgusting stuff, and I made a whole video talking about how fucked up it is that not only does it exist, but Netflix has promoted it and it's on their service. Regardless of what the intention was or what the message aimed to deliver from the director, it completely missed the mark. By using real child actors and doing the things that they did in the film, it became a movie that was only enjoyed by legitimate, real, self-admitted pedophiles. And I made a video talking about how gross that whole situation was, and Sneako made a response to it saying that the outrage around this film is misplaced and it's actually a good movie.
Americans are like, this is deplorable. I saw this commentator, Penguin Zero, who I actually like. There's not a lot of good commentators, but he's like, this movie is deplorable. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing. And it's like he didn't even watch the movie. It's just like he only saw the clips that were gonna piss him off. Or he just got so triggered by the provocative imagery that he just, deplorable. Come on, man. Like, don't you see the reasons why she's doing what she's doing?
Sneako has said multiple times, even in his most recent rant, that about it. This was my first real exposure to Sneako, and it's also the reason I don't care what his opinion is of me, because it's coming from a man who likes cuties. So why the fuck would it matter if he thinks I'm a bitch or anything like that? It legitimately couldn't mean less coming from a guy who openly defends a softcore child porn production.
Okay, if I ever wanted to get canceled, this is the video. I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited. The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Like, yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
Now, the reason I'm showing this isn't just to debate a multiple-year-old Sneako video that he completely ate shit on and had the worst possible take of with this whole cutie situation. The reason I'm showing this is because I haven't liked him since I saw this side of him. I was aware that he made other content, and apparently some of it was pretty good a couple years back, but once I saw this video, it just showed me a really weird guy who it seemed like really just wanted to be contrarian for the sake of it and makes terrible points in defense of this film for some reason. Like, even in your own video, you openly admit right there that yes, it sexualizes children. Full stop, that's not okay. That's a problem.
Like, this girl, at one point, she takes a picture of her vagina and posts it on Instagram. Kids naturally just rebel. I like this movie because it's extremely provocative, but it's realistic. A major criticism of this film was that it's child porn, that they were just showing these kids and that it's gonna bring a bunch of pedophiles in. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not more than anything else that's on the internet now, or not more than beauty pageants in America, which still exist and are exactly what you see in the film.
Do you go to beauty pageants to watch the kids, Sneako? I certainly hope not. Just because the beauty pageants, which are fucked up, completely agree, just because those exist in the real world doesn't mean that that's justification for this movie. I feel like that should be obvious. You can't use this whataboutism like, oh yeah, Cuties has a lot of sexualization of children, but what about, you know, child beauty pageants? I mean, those are out there in the real world, so what's wrong with Cuties being on Netflix?
There's a couple of things I want to address with that. He called me a pedophile because I defended the movie Cuties. And that's one thing I want to discuss is intentionality. So this is the director of Cuties, Maimouna Doucouré. Look at her. See, you can very easily get clickbaited nowadays. And if you don't know, Cuties was a movie, and this is 2 years old, so a lot of you don't know. Thank you for the 10 I've cast. Much love, Sneako. Crazy Girl seeing us only up from here in Free A. You could see her talking about the movie. I'll play a little bit of it, so if you didn't know. It's a movie about West African immigrants in France, and the young girl gets brainwashed by Western culture, and she starts getting really involved into TikTok and social media, and then she starts committing a haram. She starts doing sinful behavior for a young girl, and it's disgusting, and it's supposed to be disgusting. But people didn't like the movie because it shows the girls dancing. The problem is, they are not promoting it. So one important thing to think about is intentionality. Let me play a little bit of it.
My name is Maimouna
And let me know
Doucouré, and
if you think that she is a pedophile.
I'm the director of Cuties. Cuties is the story of an 11-year-old little girl who is trying to find herself. She's navigating between two models of femininity. One represents her mother's traditional origins, and the other one is a group of young girls.
Right, it's the back and forth between coming from a traditional family and then interacting with the Western world, which is overly sexualizing young girls. It's disgusting. It's the problem with everything in this world. And so when the trailer for this movie came out, everyone's like, whoa, whoa, and all these YouTubers made videos about it and didn't watch the film. The film is not in support of pedophilia. In fact, it's completely against it. And some of the scenes, I will admit, probably too revealing. But the problem is that people like this will overly be like, this is terrible, this is terrible. Because let's be honest, who looks more like a pedophile? Me or any of these guys right here? Who would you be more scared leaving around your children? Me or these bagels? The point is, they feel the need to be overly defensive about, because in the gaming, chronically online world, where people have like cat ears and they're just blah, and they're on like 4chan and they're just doing a bunch of weird internet shit, they end up stumbling into those types of worlds. And so they feel the need to overly be like, to show everybody, I'm not a pedophile, I'm not a pedophile. See, I feel very comfortable talking about this movie because nobody thinks I'm a pedophile. I know I'm not. And I know that this director isn't either. So after I made that video 2 years ago, the director, Maimouna Doucouré, she sent me a message and she thanked me because everybody misunderstood the intentions of the movie. So yes, some of the scenes may have been too revealing. But what's really important nowadays, which we overlook, is the intention behind something. This movie was meant to show the problems that a girl coming from a traditional African household with religion, coming into the West, getting indoctrinated by all this TikTok with all this social media, trying to show this modern day problem. The thing is, none of these people notice that because they don't relate to that. They're chronically online. They spend 10 hours a day gaming. And so they'll be like, and now they won't have a debate. They won't discuss it with me. Moistcritikal, this dude in the middle, the one there, he won't have a discussion about it because it's better to just call me a pedophile or call me a cuck.
How?